bookworms? Today I'm going to be sharing another news and stuff video. So before I get started, I'm trying out a little bit of a new filming angle because I kind of wanted to make it so that you guys could see more of my bookshelves. Obviously you won't see as many of them in this video because I'm going to be putting a lot of images on the screen to share the news graphics, but I just wanted to let you know because you'll see that it's a little bit different than my filming setup has typically been. Something new that I wanted to try for the new year, and all of my videos that I'm filming today I'm going to film with this, and if I like it, this is what it's going to be going forward. So back to news and stuff. The last news video that I posted was toward the end of November, but because news always slows down around the holiday season and then the new year, there isn't a super overwhelming amount of news to catch up on, which is really nice for editing Kristen, but there are some really exciting announcements in here that I am excited to talk about, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started, and as always, we're gonna kick things off with special editions. So first, and one of the most exciting things, is that Folio Society has announced that they're gonna be doing a special edition of Fire and Blood by George R. R. Martin. This is the Targaryen book that House of the Dragon is based on, and the edition that they are coming out with is stunningly beautiful. They've already released some of the illustrations that'll be included, and they're just gorgeous. I especially really love this one. And these are going up to order on January 28th, so ideally the day after this video is posted, so definitely not a long wait. Next up, The Broken Binding revealed their special edition for Hyperion by Dan Simmons. I'm so excited for this. Not only is there this absolutely beautiful new cover, but they're also going to be including the original dust jacket art too, like the original cover for the book, which I think is one of the best book covers. It's just so gorgeous. So as much as like I love the new one, I'm probably gonna end up using the original cover art as the dust jacket that I have on my shelf. And I'm just so excited that they're giving us that option because I just think that the original one is so beautiful. But I actually really do like the new art too. The new art is like so cool. It's just a different vibe. It's darker, and I just really like those bright colors. Next, The Broken Binding has also revealed the board art for the first 3 books in the Aragon series by Christopher Paolini. They're all just stunning. I mean, you can't really go wrong with dragon art. They're so cool, and I've never read this series. It's one that my brother read when he was young, and he like absolutely loved it, and my sister-in-law did too, and they keep telling me to read it. So I think I'm gonna do it, and I'm definitely gonna get these because they're just amazingly gorgeous. Then another nostalgia series, Illumicrate recently announced that they're going to be doing special editions of the Song of the Lioness Quartet by Tamora Pierce. These are so beautiful. I absolutely love these illustrations. They look amazing. Both the naked hardcovers and the dust jacket art are just so incredibly gorgeous, and I think longtime fans of this series are just over the moon that they're finally getting a special edition. Like, I know my friend Alexa, she's loved this series for so long and has wanted a special edition for so long, so I'm so excited for people who have been fans of this for a long time because it's about time that Tamora Pierce got a special edition, and these just could not be better. Then The Broken Binding announced their next fantasy subscription series, and it is the Rook and the Rose series by M.A. Carrick. They have revealed the dust jackets and the sprayed pages for the first 2 books in the series. So for Mask of Mirrors and Liar's Knot, both are really pretty. I don't know why, but I never really had an interest in reading this series, so I'm taking a chance using my skip on the first series of the year, which worked out for me very well last year, but I'm doing it again. Really hope that they're going to announce the next sci-fi subscription series soon because the Remembrance of Earth's Past series wraps up in February with the last book, so I'm very curious what we'll be getting next in that sub. Then Fairy Loot revealed their special edition of Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. This again is another one that is just so gorgeous. I think the Fairy Loot editions of these have just been like beyond beautiful. So I have to be honest with you guys though, I didn't do a December wrap up because I honestly was so busy. Like, we basically hosted Christmas, like Christmas dinners, formal sit down Christmas dinners like 3 times in December. I was just really tired, and there was so much like cooking and so much prep and everything that went into it that I just never got around to filming a December wrap up or a December book haul. So my January book haul is going to be like kind of insane too. The whole reason I'm saying this is because I read Emily Wilde. I read the first book in December and I thought it was kind of boring. I feel so bad saying that because I know that it's like so beloved by so many people, but I just was not that engaged in it, and it makes me so sad because I truly thought that was going to be a new favorite for me. I'm still considering giving the second book a chance, but I'm definitely not like in a rush to pick it up. So as much as it breaks my heart, I'm probably not going to get this edition. We'll see if I cave in like the day that it goes on sale because it is so pretty, and like what if I love the second one? But I'm hoping that I'll stay strong. Then Hachette revealed their gold edition for A Dowry in Blood by S.T. Gibson. This again, really beautiful. Their gold editions have been such amazing quality, so I definitely ordered this because I really loved that book, but I'm really hoping that they'll do some more high fantasy titles. Yeah, Orbit has published some of my favorite books, so if they do like Kings of the Wild or the Greenbone Saga, or I'm pretty sure they published Joe Abercrombie's books, that would be amazing. I'm really hoping that these are doing well and that they'll continue putting out gold editions like kind of frequently. Then Nerdy Inc. announced that they're going to be doing special editions of the Throne of Glass series. You can see the first book right here. This is the only one that they've revealed so far, but they have said that they are going to be doing the full series. However, this is going to be a little bit different than what they typically do. They are going to have everyone pre-order versus doing like a stock drop, and that way they'll know exactly how many they need to get and all that kind of stuff. So, and it also comes with a really pretty slipcase. So pretty excited about these. Then Illumicrate revealed their Arc of a Scythe series by Neil Shusterman. These are really, really stunning. Again, I feel like Illumicrate has had this very distinct art style that they've been using on a lot of special editions lately, and it's just so pretty. Like, I really like all of the kind of using the same shade but different tones within that shade for contrast. I think that they have just been producing such really beautiful art. I'm kind of tempted to get these and to swap them out for the Fairy Loot ones that I have, since Fairy Loot also never did the book Gleanings, which I haven't read, so I don't actually know how it is, but there is a matching edition for the Illumicrate one, so I'm like trying to decide what I want to do about that because there are a lot of special edition sales coming up lately. Then Fairy Loot revealed their edition of The Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. They always do really pretty editions of her books. I really like the sprayed pages on this one. It's really beautiful, but again, I ended up DNFing Spells for Forgetting. I do think I want to go back to it. I didn't get too far into it. I think I just wasn't in the mood at the moment, but just in case, I'm probably gonna skip this one as well. Then Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood is getting a special edition. This is really pretty. I really like this. I really like that they kept the art style on the hardcover, and I just think that the sprayed pages are really pretty. So this one I'm 100% picking up. I've been just waiting for Barnes & Noble to do another pre-order sale so that I can put in all my pre-orders for the year. I have like quite the cart that's already been built up, but I'm just like waiting for them to announce that next sale. Then First Time Caller by BK Borison is getting a Walmart exclusive edition. So it's the exact same cover and everything as the standard edition, except that it's coming in a purple colorway. It's really pretty. And if I hadn't already been getting the Afterlight edition, the Owl Crate edition, and a regular edition, I would probably get this one, but I think 4 might be overkill and I haven't even read it yet. Then Bloomsbury announced the Night Court editions of ACOTAR by Sarah J. Maas, and to be honest, I'm not really very impressed with these. I think that they are just like exactly what you can already get, except that they're black. There's not really anything special about them as far as I can tell, and it feels like very much like a money grab. They are exclusive to Barnes & Noble and Waterstones, and they are coming April 29th in case you are interested. Then Illumicrate revealed their special edition of Holy Terrors by Margaret Owen. This is the 3rd book in the Little Thieves series, and I know people are really excited because they wanted to have a matching edition for this 3rd book. Illumicrate also revealed their special editions for Lore Olympus Volume 7 and Volume 8, and I'm so glad that they are continuing on with the series. I have to pick these up because I have all of the other ones, and I just really loved this webtoon, so it's exciting to get really beautiful hardcover editions of it. Then we have a Broken Binding special edition for When the Moon Hits Your Eye by John Scalzi. This is a new sci-fi book that's coming out, and I'm pretty interested in reading this just because it sounds very funny. and it's gotten really good reviews so far, like those people who have had ARCs and read it early. I love the sprayed pages on this edition, but the basic premise of this one, in case you don't know, is that it's essentially just like what if the moon turned into cheese or something, or like was made of cheese, and how that like affects different people. I think it's like different like vignettes of all different characters and like their experience with the moon being cheese. So it sounds like pretty ridiculous, but fun. And then we have the Inkstone special edition for When the Moon Hits Your Eye by John Scalzi. I've like very recently started following Inkstone, and they have done some really, really beautiful editions. They also do a lot of really nice editions of Star Wars books. So if you're interested in those and you want special editions, that is definitely a good place to look. I'm really excited about getting into their books. I signed up for their waitlist for their subscription, and they were saying like their prediction would be that I would be able to join in like Q3 or Q4 of this year. So obviously like a little ways to go, but I am excited. Like they do sell books that they'll put on like general sale. So even if you don't have a subscription, you can still buy books on general sale. I actually just did that with one book, which you'll see in my February book haul because it's not here yet and I'm filming my January book haul today. Then Illumicrate revealed special editions for the Wicked Lovely series by Melissa Marr. They have been just revealing like the most random backlist editions, which is really cool. Like again, like the Song of the Lioness ones, very excited for those. I never read the Wicked Lovely series. There's 6 books that they're going to be doing special editions for. They do look really beautiful. From what I understand, it's like a little bit dated YA fairy fantasy, so I don't think that I would be the most into it. So I'm going to skip this one, but I do think that these editions are really pretty, and people who loved them like back in the day are probably very excited about these. Illumicrate also revealed their matching edition for The Ragpicker King by Cassandra Clare, and this is the edition that I'm going to get. I have the Fairy Loot and Illumicrate ones for book 1, but I decided I'm going to stick with the Illumicrate ones going forward. I think I just like the sprayed edges on them better. There's been a lot of Illumicrate in this video. I feel like they hadn't really had much for a while, and now they just had like a whole week of reveals, so that's why this is very Illumicrate heavy. And then lastly, also speaking of Cassandra Clare, LitJoy is going to be doing special editions of the Infernal Devices series. These are really beautiful. They're coming in a really gorgeous box. LitJoy always does just like such an amazing job with their special editions. I just have so many Cassandra Clare books at this point that I don't know if I can justify another set of Infernal Devices, even though it is my favorite of the series too. I'm gonna like have to make a game time call on that one and see what happens. Moving on to cover reveals. So first we have Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. I'm so excited about this. This is kind of like book news / cover reveal. This is a new novel coming out by Rebecca Ross, but it's set in the same world as Divine Rivals, and it's actually a prequel story to the story that we got in the duology. This one's coming on September 2nd, and it also has an exclusive Barnes & Noble edition, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to read this. Then we got a cover for The Sword Triumphant by Gareth Hanrahan, and actually that Inkstone book that I was talking about earlier, Inkstone did special editions for the first 2 books in this series, and I ordered the first one on Pango Books, and the second one is still available on the Inkstone website, so I ordered that one as well. I've been kind of like dying to read this series. Every time I read the synopsis, I'm like, that sounds so good. So I'm really looking forward to getting these and to reading this trilogy, and I'm excited that it's going to be completed soon. Then we have the cover for The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is a really, really beautiful cover, and this one's coming July 15th of 2025. Then it was announced that The Witching Hour by Anne Rice, and actually the whole Mayfair Witches series, is getting re-released with new covers by Del Rey UK. They are beginning to be released in February, so here we have the updated cover of The Witching Hour. This is a really good cover, so I'm excited to see what they do with the rest of the series, and this would be a good time to get some matching sets, because I feel like, I don't know if it's the same for the Mayfair Witches, but as far as like the Interview with the Vampire series goes, it seems to be kind of hard to find matching covers. Like they're just all over the place, so it'll be nice to have the opportunity to get a matching set. Then we got a cover for Red City by Marie Lu. I'm really excited about this. This is Marie Lu's adult fantasy debut, and it is a duology. It's described as The Godfather meets The Magicians, which sounds very interesting, and it's coming on October 14th of 2025. You'll actually notice as we keep going, there is a big trend of YA authors writing their adult debut novels, just especially like lots of cover reveals for them in this past couple of weeks. Next up, we have the cover for Alchemized by Senlin Yu. This one's coming out on September 30th, and this is the traditionally published version of one of the most popular Dramione fanfics. It's based on Manacled. It's going to be, I think, like the same story, but they obviously have to change character names and some details so that they're not copying an already existing world. I really love the cover that they went with, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. I did not read the fanfiction, but I did download it like last year, so I think I do probably want to read that first as well. Then we got a cover for The Demon Light by Axio. This is the second book and the concluding novel in her upcoming duology, and what's really nice is that both books are being released this year, so there's not a long wait between them. The first book is The Floating World, which comes out April 29th, and then the second book comes out on October 21st, so just a couple months between finding out that conclusion. Then we got a cover for The Wrath of Dragons by Olivia Rose Darling. This is the second book after Fear the Flames, and this one's coming out July 29th of 2025. Next we have another fanfic turned traditionally published book, and that is The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley, and this one is based on another Dramione fanfic, but this one is based on Draco Malfoy and the mortifying ordeal of being in love. This is another one that I haven't read, but I've heard people rave about it, so I've always been kind of curious, and I do really like this cover. It's very fun. This one's coming out July 8th. Then we got a cover for Medievally Blonde by Kate Jacobs. I really like the concept of this one. It's essentially like Legally Blonde, but in medieval times, which sounds really fun. This one's also coming in July of 2025. Then we got a cover for Good Spirits by BK Borison. This is her first book in her Ghosted trilogy, so all of these are, I think, based on A Christmas Carol, or like loosely inspired by them. And this first one follows a woman who is like a Scrooge and the ghost of Christmas past. So I think each book is going to follow a different ghost of Christmas. This one's coming out on October 7th. We also got a cover for The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez. This is a new short story that's being released by Abby. It's coming out on March 1st, and it is audiobook or ebook only at this point. Then we have another YA author making her adult debut. This one's an adult romance, and that is Stephanie Perkins. The book is called Overdue, and it's coming out on October 7th, and it seems like Macmillan has come out with a new imprint. I don't know if I'm just behind the times here, but it seems like a couple of these YA authors are all publishing under a new imprint at Macmillan called Saturday Books, so kind of a play on Wednesday Books being the young adult imprint and Saturday Books being the adult imprint. Really pretty cover, and this one is going to come with magenta sprayed pages for the first print run. Then we have a cover for We Met Like This by Casey West. Yet again, another YA author that is releasing an adult rom-com. Really like the cover of this one as well, and this one is also being published by Saturday Books, and this one comes out on September 16th. Then we got a cover for A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. This one's coming out June 10th of 2025. We also got a cover for With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. This is Riley's next book that's coming out on June 10th, and I believe the whole story takes place on a train, which is really exciting. And also, I didn't include it in this news video because it was such like a minuscule piece of information, but Riley did post that he is already working on book 10, and he posted like a little mood board, and it looks like it's going to be like Victorian with a ghost, and there's like a Ouija board photo, and it also looks like it's maybe by the ocean. Vibes that I'm definitely excited about. Then we got a cover for The Morrigan by Kim Curran. This one's coming out in February, so not much longer to wait on this one. Then we have a cover for Forged for Destiny by Andrew Knighton. I really like the sword with the moon at like the top of this. It looks very cool. This one's coming in April of 2025, and this is the first in a new fantasy series being published by Orbit. Next is the cover for Alchemy and a Cup of Tea by Rebecca Thorne. This is book 4 in the Tomes and Tea series, and this one's coming out on August 12th of 2025. Then Christina Lauren announced that their entire Beautiful series is getting updated covers, which are being released by Gallery Books. The graphic here shows the release date for each book. There's quite a few of them, so I'm not going to state each one out loud, but they kicked things off with with Beautiful Bastard, which re-released on January 7th, and they will be completing the series with Beautiful, and that one will come out on October 7th. So you can kind of look forward to a lot of them if you want to get these new covers. Next is the cover for The Ghosts of Merry Hall by Heather Davey. I just thought this cover was so cool. I really like how these candles have faces. This one's coming out in September of 2025. Then we have a cover for The Fairy Morgana by Louisa Morgan. This one's coming out in September of 2025. Next is the cover for To Clutch a Razor by Veronica Roth. This is the sequel to When Among Crows, and it's coming out on September 16th of 2025. Then we have a cover for Road Trip with a Vampire by Jenna Levine. I think this is the third book in the vampire series that she's written. It's like a romance companion series, and this next book is coming on October 14th. Then for any of my Vanderpump Rules fans, Sheena Shea announced that she is coming out with a memoir called My Good Side. It's coming out in summer of 2025. I cannot imagine that this is going to be very good, but I will definitely be listening to it on audiobook. I'm hoping that she will narrate it, although it might be annoying to listen to so much of Sheena's voice. We'll see. And then lastly, we got a cover for Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle. I really like how this one looks like a playing card, but it's like a very vibrant, fun playing card. And I know that the story involves a casino in some capacity. And this one's coming on August 12th. Then moving on to book news. So right at the end of the year, Jay Kristoff posted a teaser that the Empire of the Vampire series is officially coming to an end, and the final book is going to be released in November of 2025. We didn't get a title or cover or anything like that. We just got kind of a series of images and the teaser that the end is near. So I imagine we'll get a title reveal like pretty soon. Then Stephanie Garber announced Alchemy of Secrets, which is again another YA author making her adult debut. So this one is adult fantasy, and it sounds really interesting. There's some kind of cinema, and I know there's like a professor involved. This one's coming out on September 30th of 2025, and there are already special editions that are up for pre-order at both Barnes & Noble and Waterstones, despite the final cover not yet being revealed. Stephanie's books tend to sell out really fast, so if you think that you're interested, you might want to go ahead and pre-order before even seeing the cover, and then if you don't like it, you can always cancel it. But a lot of times they will like sell out before the release date, so you might want to like jump on that. Then Sarah Beth Durst announced that there will be 2 more books after The Enchanted Greenhouse that are set within the world of the Spell Shop. So the next one is going to be called Sea of Charms. That one's going to be coming out in the summer of 2026, and then an untitled book will follow that in likely the summer of 2027, since we've been getting them in summer each year so far. Then Brandon Sanderson is going to be releasing Tailored Realities via Tor, and this is a collection of stories, and all of them are non-Cosmere stories. It includes a never-before-seen novella called Moment Zero, as well as Snapshot, Perfect State, Defending Elysium, which is a Skyward novella, and 5 other stories that were originally published elsewhere but have never before been collected into one volume, and each one of these stories will have a black and white illustration to go along with it. This one's coming out on December 9th of 2025. Then Saga Press announced that they have acquired 3 new books from Ken Liu, and I'm really excited about this. Ken Liu is the author of the Dandelion Dynasty, which I have not yet read, but I did read his translation of the 3 Body Problem series, and these new books sound so intriguing. So the first book is a thriller called All That We See or Seem, which is coming in October of this year. This novel explores the future of art in a world of AI-driven loneliness, and it's the first in a trilogy of near-future thrillers that explore like the shadowy world of international crime and hackers. The second book, which is coming in 2026, is called The Passing of the Dragon and Other Stories, and this one is a collection of short stories. Then we got a title reveal for Tasha Suri's next book. This one's called The Isle in the Silver Sea, and I really like the night imagery in the title reveal. This one's coming in October of 2025, and it's described as a sapphic night witch reincarnation romance novel, which sounds interesting. Then lastly, we are moving on to adaptations, and there's actually a bit of adaptation news too. So first and foremost, I am the most excited that Silo has been renewed for seasons 3 and season 4. I love this show so much. Andrew and I watched season 1 and season 2, and I was legitimately upset when season 2 ended because I was like, I can't believe that we just don't have any more episodes of Silo to watch now. Like, I was genuinely upset. The show is so good. It's on Apple TV. If you haven't watched it yet, I cannot recommend it enough. Next up, it was announced that The Last of Us is going to be returning with season 2 in April, which is really exciting because that was one of the best video game adaptations that ever existed, and I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen next. Oh, then I was really excited to hear that Julie C. Dow's Rise of the Empress series is gonna be adapted for Prime. I believe it's being adapted into a TV series. This is based on her young adult novels, Forest of a Thousand Lanterns and Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix. These are really fun. Like Forest of a Thousand Lanterns is like a villainess origin story, and it takes place in like an Asian kingdom, and it was just so engaging and so much fun. So I'm really excited to see this story come to life. There's no production schedule or release date yet, but I'm excited nonetheless. Then it was announced that the Clown in a Cornfield adaptation, the film adaptation, is going to be coming to theaters on May 9th. And that's pretty exciting. I feel like most of the time when we're getting these adaptations, they're usually, you know, Netflix releases, Prime releases, whatever streaming service. So it's fun to see an adaptation actually getting released in theaters. Then it was announced that Columbia Pictures and Sony PlayStation are now working on a film adaptation of Horizon Zero Dawn. It was previously expected to be adapted into a TV series for Netflix. However, it seems like that is no longer happening, and now it's going to be made into a feature-length film. I'm only really aware of this one because my husband loved Horizon Zero Dawn. Anytime I see like something pop up, I'll look at it so I can just tell him what's going on. Then it was announced that Sony is going to be adapting the first 5 books in Jennifer L. Armentrout's From Blood and Ash series. And the announcement also stated that there is the potential for them to adapt book 6, which seems likely. Why would they adapt 5 of the 6 books? The 6th book hasn't been released yet, so I'm sure that that's why they haven't really committed. And then there's also the opportunity to potentially adapt the 4-book prequel series as well. It was also announced that Quicksilver by Callie Hart is getting adapted for Netflix. This has been like a really popular romantasy release in the last year. I haven't read it, but people seem to really enjoy it. Then it was announced that Rose Byrne and Megan Fahey will be the headlining actresses in the adaptation of Karen Slaughter's The Good Daughter. I love Megan Fahey, so I am so excited about this. I still haven't read any Karen Slaughter books, and that is on my list to do this year. So this seems like a good one to start with since it's getting an adaptation. It was also announced that Anna Huang's Twisted series is getting a TV series adaptation. This is going to be coming to Netflix. And the author made it very clear in her announcement post that there's been a lot of rumors that are flying around about who's been cast in the show, and she wanted to like make it clear that no one has been cast yet. Next up, Daredevil Born Again is coming to Disney Plus on March 4th, and Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are reprising their roles as Daredevil and the Kingpin, which I'm so glad about because the Netflix Daredevil series was one of my favorite Marvel TV series, and I'm really excited to like see those characters come back and be in those roles again. And I also, like, despite feeling Marvel burnout like I think everyone has been, I really enjoyed Agatha all along, and I feel like that's given me a little bit of like hope that there could be more out there that could end up being really good. And just because I am such a big Daredevil fan, I have really high hopes for this one. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. I used to have a life-size Daredevil bust from Sideshow Collectibles. It was like huge. I kept it on our refrigerator when Andrew and I had like one of our first apartments, and pretty much anyone who came in would be like, what is that looking at me? And I'm like, you guys don't understand, Daredevil's the best. Even Andrew didn't love it. And then my final piece of adaptation news is that CD Projekt Red announced that they will be making The Witcher 4. They revealed a 6-minute trailer of it at the Game Awards, and that trailer confirmed that Ciri will be the main character in the next Witcher game. All right, so that is all of the news that I have to share today. Let me know if you like the new filming setup, and let me know what you are most excited about. And now that news is ramping up with 2025, like really getting into the swing of things, I will definitely be posting news videos more frequently. That's all that I have for this video, and I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!